Hey, what's up, guys? We have Evolve Gaming's own.
Brandon Leong.
Ben Noon.
Yeah, he came back finally. Look at him.
Hey.
Yeah. So we had a special event today. I believe it was a 2v2 tournament. Weirdest thing ever. I probably might not ever play again, but we have special deck lists here from the winners. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we're champs.
Yes, we're champs. 2v2 champs.
Yeah.
Never gonna have to defend it again.
Paradox
All right. All right. So what did you guys play?
We played double True Draco because it was the most brain dead thing you could play, and because of the tag duel rules, you can abuse a lot of the advantage.
Yeah, there's no siding, so it's all best of ones. So we figured that there wasn't going to be the side deck hate that Draco normally loses to, and we could just play all the broken cards.
Yep. Best of one 30-minute rounds, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
How awful was that?
It was really funny because we would just punch everyone with really, really big monsters, and then they can't recover. So the time runs out. It's like they're already down so much life.
It's pretty good.
All right. So which one of you guys want to go first?
All right, we'll do this list first. It was like the A player. This is like the boring list. The other one's a lot more interesting.
All right.
But yeah, so for the Dracos, we have 1 Dynamite, 1 Ignis, and 3 Maidens. This is like a really weird ratio. Honestly, it was just because I couldn't find 2 more Ignis, but I did enjoy the 3 Maiden, partially because the ideal setup is Dynamite Maiden to get the extra interrupt. But yeah, I opted to not play too many Dracos because you just travel through your deck so much, so you don't want to like open that many monsters. So yeah, that's it for those cards. Next for the spells, nothing too crazy here. 3 Diagram, 3 Heritage, and 3 Disciples. You have to max out on these.
Obviously.
And then obviously the terraforming as well for the diagram.
What? You
Then
play that?
the crazy draw cards are 3 Ancient Leaf. For those of you guys who don't know what this does, it says if you have 9,000 or more life points, you just pay 2,000 life points to draw 2 cards. Not once per turn, so you can just Ancient Leaf a billion times and it is broken. 3 Card Demise. Drawing either one of these off the other is just insane. You just get so much advantage. 3 Pot of Duality, arguably like one of the better cards in this deck because you draw so much that you just need to like search out whatever you're missing. So yeah, definitely enjoyed that. And then I also played 1 Pot of Desires. It seems kind of weird because you already have Ancient Leaf, but I figured that instead of playing like more Floodgates or Engine cards or things that could potentially be dead, I just wanted to have as many live cards you can just immediately activate. So yeah, just opening like any combination of these cards just gets you closer to your win condition as opposed to like potentially clogging. So
Like
that's
10 draw cards, not included the True Draco stuff.
yeah, pretty good. You just draw your entire deck. And then the last 2 spells is 2 copies of Strike of the Monarchs. So if you guys don't know what this card does, basically you can target a face-up card in the field and then tribute a level 5 or higher normal summon monster that you control to negate that card's effect, and then you draw a card. So yeah, you can chain whatever Draco and then chain this to negate any card. So you get like extra value off of it. It's for like main deck Twin Twisters or like things like Engage, because we expected mirror matches. You can like negate Ancient Leaves or Demises or things like that. So,
Okay.
yeah, better than Solemn Judgment because you don't pay half. We need Ancient Leaf life, so definitely couldn't play that. And then for traps, we have the Draco stuff, 3 Apocalypse, 1 Return. Nothing to say there. Apocalypse like control by itself is actually a really solid win condition because the way that it works is both players get pops for the individual card names. So if, for example, I attributed an Apocalypse and then like my partner's Apocalypse got destroyed by like an MST or something, then we both get the pop in the same turn. So that's pretty useful. And just getting the extra interrupts is, it comes up a lot because you just draw everything. And then lastly for the Floodgates, we played 9 of them. So 3 Erupt, 2 Summon Limit, 2 There Can Be Only One, and 2 Anti-Spell. This was a hedge against Draco Mirrors as well as like Striker decks because we could just sack it off in our turn, so it doesn't really hinder us. I wish I didn't play There Can Be Only One. I was under the assumption that because it said each player can like control one of each type, that it affected each player individually, but it actually just affects people as a unit because we share fields. So that was kind of bad, but everything else was really, really insane, and you see these cards very often. So yeah, that's it. That's just the deck. It's Floodgate control.
So now we have a different list that, would you say, what complements it, supports it?
Yeah, so everything about player B's list was to support player A. The objective was just go first, set up a board, and then to slow down their player A with our own Draco engine. And because you can plus off of each other's own Draco cards, you can get more value and eventually just draw all of your interrupts. So starting, we just have the 1 Dynamite, 3 Ignis, and 2 Maiden. These are the generic Draco setup. It does wonderfully. Also, because I contribute Ben's spells and traps, these are more live for me, so the Ignis, especially to break boards, was really helpful. Okay, now going on to what makes this deck a little bit more unique, and it took on a really huge supportive role. I play hand traps, so 3 Ash, 2 Ogre, 2 Meister, and the Gamma package.
Oh Lord.
So the idea is all of these are super impactful, and if you draw them again, then you can just blow out your opponents. So because if we go first, their player A doesn't get to attack, we get enough time to set up and then hinder their plays. And because the deck draws so much, you're always going to be drawing one of these two. And I think it's like an 80% chance to open one of these. Gamma was insane, especially our round 1. We got drolled, so I had the Gamma and I just activated it, and then we were good to go. They had a second droll, but if the first one resolved, we would have been definitely screwed. All the hand traps are insane. So.
Yeah, we were gonna play Nibiru, but we just wanted a wider coverage of matchups because we didn't anticipate too many combo decks.
Yeah.
Okay.
In case we went second, we wanted something to deal with the IP play from Orchestraker. So I played 3 Cosmic. It's also just good generically against Striker and everything else. Yeah, it's just really good. Plus Chain Diagram is nice. Now for the regular stuff, 3 Diagram, 1 Terra, 3 Heritage, and 3 Disciples. Nothing really too much to say there. After turn 1, Heritage basically becomes draw 3 because I can just sack Ben stuff and then draw off of that. So it's just better pot of greed.
Oh, and another thing with Disciples is that you can shuffle from either player's graveyard and still get the draw. So it's really good to just recycle resources, and you get it literally every single turn after turn 1.
Yeah, and then the most insane card.
Pot of
Ancient League.
greed.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
Pot of greed.
3 Duality. Duality was actually insane because it says search a hand trap, and you just add whatever you need for the next turn, and then they just can't play basically. Or the game state gets so simplified just because of the floodgates, and then if they break through the floodgate, hand trap will just stop them, and that's it.
And notably, there's no card demise in that list. It's mostly because of the hand traps, but like the draw power that you miss off of it is mitigated by the fact that you draw so much off the Draco cards going second.
Yep. And then last, regular 3 Apocalypse, and then Return. Nothing really. These cards are just crazy. We would be able to tribute each other's monsters or tribute each other just to like summon each other's guys, and then pop 2 cards every turn basically. So a lot of the games we play were actually just Apocalypse control. So yeah.
Okay. So who went first?
So I opted to go first. The game plan is you draw any of the 10 draw cards. So like basically any of these. And then you draw into all your floodgates or just like enough Draco cards to live, since the battle phase doesn't happen until the 4th player goes in tag duels. So you're basically just guaranteed to live. And once this gets established, Brandon can go and he'll have hand traps to stop the opponents, as well as just using the resources that my Draco monsters accumulate on the field to either set up his tributes or like heritage plays or things like that. So yeah.
Yep.
And then he's able to draw more cards without demise because you are already established.
Pretty
Exactly.
much. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the demise doesn't hurt me, but it's great for him. But I just sit and just wait. And there was one game I didn't draw a single monster. Besides, I had a hand of 5 hand traps. And then Ben just goes first, and I just sit there. And whenever they try to play, I'll just go hit him with a Meister, Ogre, Ash, whatever. And that's all she wrote. So.
Like the really cool thing about this list is we came up with it together, and like it essentially just supplements this deck and makes it for all the weaknesses, like being that it has maybe harder time stopping like big combo decks, or just like other, like the ability to play defensive cards that this deck normally doesn't get to just makes it inherently way more unfair than it already is. And then just add on Ancient Leaf to that, and I feel like this is the best deck that can take advantage of it. So.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other tag duel deck that can abuse it.
So in the 2v2 at a YCS, in the side events, because I assume that's what they're going to be running.
Right, probably.
This is probably the most optimal, 2 decks to run for it.
I would definitely say this, and maybe like a graveyard manipulation one, like a chaos deck if Levianeer's still a card. But otherwise, this is just it's still like so easy. Like you don't need to think too much. It's just super helmet.
And again, like no siding is huge because like you don't have to fear the side
Yeah.
deck cards at all.
Yeah, you can just run in and just win. Basically.
All right. Any final thoughts?
This format was like super fun.
Yeah, it was
even
just
though it was
funny.
like super ignorant, but I would do it again. Just we need the rulings to be a little bit more clear.
Yeah, there was like a ruling that was changed multiple times involving like field spells and if you can activate like ignition-like effects on field spells that your partner controls if you're playing the same deck. And that was like changed a couple of times. Like the correct ruling on Konami's website is that you cannot do that, but it was like partially ruled halfway through that you could. So.
All right. Hold on.
Yep.
Alrighty, guys. Thanks for checking us out on Team Evil Gaming. Like and subscribe. Also, check out Sir.
Yeah, Sir Eminon on YouTube. You can go check it out. Link's gonna be in the description.
Yeah, see that? He wears our logo also. We work
Yeah.
together out here. All right, guys. See you guys later. Bye.
All right, peace.